Do you know everything about fear and hunger? This is your last chance to prove it, because this video is the final in my Secrets of Fear and Hunger secrets. The deal is, if there's any facts you didn't know, you have to leave a comment telling me which one. If you did know all of them, then I'll have to make another video. Well, that's the usual deal, but this is it. There aren't any more facts after this. I'll have to do something else then. The last secret. The mysterious pig in Mahab, the city of the gods. It's an apparently hollow stone pig sculpture right next to the statue of Groggoroth, the god of destruction. You guys informed me many times that it's probably a kind of brazen bull, an ancient execution device where a person was forced inside and a fire lit underneath. The screams of the person inside would sound like a bull's cries, and the steam and smoke of the person burning would bellow out of its nostrils. It's not confirmed that it was actually real, fortunately or unfortunately. Is the pig a kind of torture device then? A brazen pig, as it were. Groggoroth was a god that liked human sacrifice and did use fire magic, so it's possible. It's also not supported by anything in the game whatsoever, so unfortunately this isn't a factoid after all, just a fan theory. We're still waiting on the next update for the sequel, Terminus, so maybe the brazen pig theory will finally be confirmed. Back to the start of the dungeons. Did you know there's places you can use explosive vials to open up new paths? Of course you did, I mentioned that in a previous video. It's required to access the thicket. But did you know there are actually multiple little secret places you can blow open in the first area? Depending on which dungeon layout you get, the amount and location changes, but you'll get an extra bed, a bookshelf, and some crates. Is it a huge deal? Well, not really, but it's useful if you have a spare explosive vial early on. In the next area, just through the garden, you'll find 3 priests sacrificing a man to our favourite god, Ulmir. No, wait, 2 priests? Where's the other one? Well, he only appears once the other 2 priests are killed for some reason. Maybe he's a little shy. Maybe he thinks you're cool if you kill them. The priests have a small chance to drop their outfit when they die, and wearing it while talking to them gives unique dialogue. They discuss the gods with you and give you some interesting lore that we won't talk about since it's a huge rabbit hole. That is, they'll talk to you if you happen to find the outfit in a crate before fighting them. Obviously, you can't talk to them if they're dead. Maybe that's why this 3rd priest appears later, so you actually get a chance to use the outfit. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a chance at all. Or would you? That's a sneaky clue for a later secret and a subtle hook to keep you watching, so keep watching and I'll talk about it later. You'll be familiar with the torturer Trotur's secret quest, yes? In a nutshell, you can hand over certain NPCs to him so he can, well, torture them, obviously. Just an aside, you can actually refuse to help Jean when you see her. If you don't interrupt the Lord of Flies when you find them later in the second half of the game, you'll find her dead nearby. If you do save her but don't help her, then she dies as well. Anyway, once you bring her and the prince to Trotur, he'll give you a key to his special armor and tell you how to access it. You have to light every torch in the area, and the secret door will slide open. But in certain dungeon layouts, he blocks one of the torches. Even after you've helped him so much, he still tortures you one last time. Our next last secrets are a little deeper down, in the mines. The Salmonsnake is a giant lizard boss whose meat can be harvested once it is killed. It's delicious raw, so maybe it's like sushi. When eaten raw, it restores 30 hunger, and when it's cooked on a fire, it also restores 30 hunger. Well, I guess there's no point to cooking it then. Hang on, how about regular meat? Raw meat restores 90 hunger but has a high chance of giving the parasite status effect, and cooked meat doesn't, but still only restores 90 hunger. I guess that checks out. The real secret here is that cooking the Salmonsnake meat doesn't actually do anything, and cooking regular meat only kinda does something. There you go. Close to the Salmonsnake is the Cave Dweller village. It has a slew of secrets, but by far the most interesting is this little thing here. Do you see it? That's right, the plants they farm. Did you know that you, too, can farm in fear and hunger? All it needs is fishing and it's a true... Oh, right, never mind. Well, you need to find the seeds somewhere. Our friends the Lord of Flies can sometimes drop them when they dies. Take one of these seeds and plant them in the soft soil, and when you leave the area and return, success. You get cave moss. It's a consumable that restores hunger. 7 hunger. It's the lowest amount that food items can recover. It's basically useless as food because of how little it helps and how hard it is to get. But it has some interesting lore implications. The moss is the only food the cave dwellers seem to eat, so its low nutritional value likely contributes to their physical weakness. The seeds are likely plants from the thickets with which some of the Lord of Flies are infected. The thicket plants are part of the God of the Depths, functioning as a way to bring oxygen deep into the dungeon. According to the gods in the hall, the cave dwellers are people who are trapped underground due to cave-ins, who then likely prayed to the God of the Depths for help. These seeds, then, are a form of the god's blessing, giving them just enough nutrition to survive, but not enough to escape. Speaking of no escape, in the next layer there's a maze of mine shafts. Behind a locked door, you'll find an unfortunate person with this special sword stuck inside them. It's called Shark Teeth and, well, it's pretty good. To be honest, this one is minor, but worth mentioning since I never mentioned it before. Let's buff it up a bit and talk about another item in a locked room that I also never talked about, the bone shears. A bit earlier in the dungeon, at the top of the room with the bronze iron Shakespeare, you'll find another locked door. Break it down and... oh, okay. Use lockpicking. Oh. How about we use a red vial? That can melt a lock. Right, okay. Use a scroll to learn necromancy so we can get some allies. Use another scroll to learn phase step so you can avoid the enemy stuck in the door. Use necromancy to get your skeleton, go back and fail to break the door down again. Okay. Use 2 more scrolls to get the Eastern Sword and a Yeagetsu amulet to crit farm and fail to break the door down again. Use another scroll to give yourself the White Angel Soul, which gives you permanent double turns, and then realize it doesn't work on doors. Remember, you have phase step and just teleport past it, but then realize that doesn't work on this specific door either. Go and get another skeleton and then fail again, and then use another scroll to learn On Guard, which gives you a bonus attack at the start, and then realize that that doesn't work on this door either. Finally, make your skeleton's attacks all connect at the same time and break down the door. Inside, stuck into a corpse, you'll find the bone shears. A giant pair of scissors that require 2 hands and do high damage, but have a lower chance to hit. They're actually kinda useless because of that. Hit chance is a really big deal in the first game. Some ghosts spawn on the way out, but you can just run past them with your useless weapon. By the way, you can also just find the bone shears and shark teeth weapons in crates randomly, so it's all kind of pointless really. Anyway, for something simpler, the Ghost Knight. In the mines, there's a Ghost Knight who protects a certain area. The new gods tell us it was a knight whose life was saved by Nosramus, who then swore to protect the wizard. So Nosramus turned them into a ghostly guardian, doomed to wander around the darkness for eternity. That doesn't sound like a good deal, but whatever. You can technically win against a ghost, but it just respawns. The way to beat it is to break apart its actual corpse. When you initiate the fight, the ghost won't appear for a few turns, so you have to be quick. And yes, you can be quite quick. If you didn't blow through all your explosive vials earlier in the dungeon, you can just throw 1 at the armor and destroy it in a single turn. Although this doesn't work on harder difficulties, so you've got to fight it the old-fashioned way. Another secret: the Ghost Knight fight has a guaranteed 100% escape chance. That's the Ghost Knight by itself, not when you fight the armor. Well, look, it is a guardian that really doesn't care if you run away, just as long as you stay out of Nosramus' lair. Returning to everyone's favourite area, the thicket. And there's a few little secrets here, and a couple of big ones. The big one is the Cockroach King. He has his own section in another video I made, and there's lots of little treasures hidden throughout this verdant maze. The thing we're focusing on today is this cool sword, the Eastern Sword. I've talked about this before as well, but I did miss one secret about it. When you take the sword, you'll be attacked by the spirit of its owner. This is a tricky fight because not only can he do a lot of damage to everyone quickly, he's also a spirit and can't be hurt by physical damage. So, unless you're prepared, you'll probably have to run away. If you do, the ghost will haunt you, periodically ambushing you at random locations in the dungeon. Or are they? Did you know that the locations aren't random at all? There's certain points in every map where, if you have the cursed sword, you'll be jumped by the ghost. It's not 100% guaranteed, but merely a high chance when you walk through these spots, so it kinda does feel random. If you remember where all of them are, you can just never have to worry about fighting the ghost. You probably should though. When you beat him, it uncurses the sword, which means it doesn't do magic damage anymore, but the uncursed version has a very high crit rate and very high damage, so it's usually a better trade-off. Deeper down in the dungeons, lurking in the dark ruins of the City of the Gods, is a terrifying enemy. It's almost impossible to kill. It's got such extremely high It's got extremely high evasion. So how do you deal with this nightmare? Simple. You talk to it. You don't even need Mastery of Insects. The spell that lets you actually talk to insects, you just select talk, then step on the spider. Follow me for more pro-gamer tips. To the east of the city, you'll find the Tower of the Endless. If you sleep here in the past, you can visit the Realm of Dreams and see glimpses of the past of the 4 main characters. At the end, we find Nilvan, the new god who owns this tower, and we'll talk about her in a moment, but when roaming around the city, you can find some more dark priests. They're not hostile here, but like before, have some special dialogue if you're wearing the dark priest outfit. Both will give you helpful items, an empty scroll and some opium. There's a little bit of lore too. The dark priests have been persecuted for some time and are expecting some event to occur, a kind of jubilee. They're either in on Lagarde's plan to turn himself into a god or paying close attention to it. Later on in the dream, after you fight the delightful Skin Granny, you come face to face with the Endless One, the free-spirited member of the Fellowship, Nilvan. She tells you a little about what's actually happening in the dungeons, that humanity needs a god that is stronger than the new gods, one that can stand up to the missing old gods, and asks you to take the girl, her child, to the Heart of Darkness. If you say yes, she'll gift her soul to you, one of 3 required to enter the throne room of Mahab. Of course you'll say yes, but what if you didn't? Then, yeah, she just leaves. Huh. You need 3 souls to enter the Golden Palace. The Tormented, Enlightened, and Endless souls. You may notice that these are the souls of the player characters, and yes, if you already have them, then you don't need to fight the Fellowship to get them. If you start as, say, Kahara, then you don't need to get Nilvan's soul. If you do refuse her though, and you're not playing as Kahara, well, then you've got to go kill him for it. Good luck. If you do agree to Nilvan's terms, eventually you'll find yourself in the Heart of Darkness, the Gauntlet. Well, you don't have to, you can just lie to her, but let's say you didn't. Now, it's well known by now that there are some odd links to the Sulphur God in the first game, including in the Gauntlet. For one, it explicitly mentions the smell of sulphur when you enter. Did you know there's a couple more? Maybe references to Allmere technically, but hey, what's the difference, right? The yellow lizard mages, marriages between yellow mages and lizardmen, only have one eye. They're the product of a Sylvian marriage, and explicitly thankful to Sylvian. Some theorists have suggested that Sylvian was the mastermind behind Allmere's ascension too. And of course, the Sulphur God is also known as the Snake, a reptile. That's not all. There's traps that spit out poison gas clouds. The traps appear to be a stone carving of 4 pig faces, one in each cardinal direction, with a human face emerging from the top. That human face only has a single eye. A full breakdown of the carvings in the Gauntlet is best saved for another time, but needless to say, the single-eyed human iconography is interesting indeed. If you didn't decide to go along with Nilvan's plan and throw the young girl into the darkness, then you'll likely end up throwing her into the other darkness, the Void. This one's green instead of purple though. After you beat Francois and sit on the throne, you're transported into the Void. Your party members come with, but they're lost in the darkness and you've got to go find them. In the last video, we talked about the young baby blight that can be found here. The blights, the dinosaurs found in the Void, are the new gods of the Lizardmen. Since they have a baby, it's likely similar to the girl, who is a child of the current human new gods, specifically Nilvan. The girl is part of a plan to create a true god, stronger than the new gods, and perhaps this baby blight was a previous attempt, obviously one that failed. As pointed out in the comments, if you bring the girl here, she can be found standing with this creature, likely to highlight the similarity between the two and lending credence to this theory. And now, the final secret in the Final Secrets video. Right at the entrance of the dungeon, one of the first things you can see when you start the game is a dead horse. Of course, naturally, you can kick it. But did you know, if you keep kicking it, and 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 keep kicking it. This is it. There really aren't any other secrets left to uncover. If you watched every one of these videos, then you know more about the games than anyone else. That's a fact. You can impress your friends who are probably sick of hearing you talk about that weird RPG Maker game that's banned in Germany. Ah, right, the challenge. Did you know all of them? If you did, then, well, I can't make another Fear and Hunger 1 video, so how about another Termina video? There's plenty left to talk about in that game, especially with the upcoming update. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please consider becoming a patron. That's the best way to support content like this. You can get access to scripts, teasers, videos a week before the general public, and, of course, your name in the credits. Thank you very much to those who already support. Their names are on screen now. Thank you again for watching, and remember, you're never alone in the dark.